88 Rising is not just a music label, but a cultural movement that has transcended boundaries and redefined Asian representation in the global music industry. Good morning, honorable judges. I am Yanisa, and I'm here with Pirawat, Narinya, and Eileen, and we are from Mahidol University International College. Join force with 88 Rising to rise above and go beyond.
What for the next step for growth of 88 Rising in scaling up in business? Let's see who is 88 Rising. 88 Rising is a record label, an artist management company, a media company, and a marketing company all fused into one with the music based on hip hop and R&B. The company was founded by Choi Miyashiro, and he is the one who died first of the company. Since its inception, 88 Rising have signed Asian artists such as Harry Butter, Rich Brian, and Joji, elevating their global profiles. Importantly, 88 Rising focused more on branding its company. Within the record label industry, 88 Rising had three main competitors: Sony Music Entertainment, Warner Music Group, and Hype. Despite having different types of music, the fact that this big company like Sony and Warner have penetrated the market should not be overlooked, especially in the case of Warner, as it shares the same hip-hop R&B market. Also, Hype have the highest market share and highest popularity score on Google. All these big companies have better performance and resources trying to penetrate into 88 Rising niche market, and this put pressure on the company. The analysis on the record label industry leads us to important question of whether 88 Rising should diversify its music style or not. 88 Rising have four main key decision criteria to be considered: advantage, market share, brand image, and scale of change. Agreeing to diversify the company will lose bad brand image and target consumer. Moreover, the company will face difficulty in change as it have limited resource and existing industry have very high competition. Let's see the case of Tidal, which is a music streaming service and music creators. Tidal wanted to diversify bands and music type by only focusing on endorsing with new artists. However, Tidal didn't focus on the needs of the current customers, and the company only provide new music style while current listeners prefer its original style. Also, the artists didn't own their own music on Tidal, and they left the company. Ultimately, Tidal couldn't retain its current customer and attract new customer, and people were confused with its identity. With this case study, 88 Rising should not diversify its band, but rather differentiate itself from competitors, utilizing its current resource and maintaining its artists. With this, it had an advantage from being the first mover of its strong band presence. To help 88 Rising grow sustainably in its music record industry while maintaining its band image, we come up with two key questions. How can 88 Rising stay ahead of the competition by retaining its strong band image? And how should 88 Rising strike a balance between control and scale of its operation? To answer this, honorable judges, let's introduce you, rise above and go beyond.
Answering the first key questions of how can 88 Rising stay ahead of the competition by retaining its strong brand image, let me present you Rise Above. 88 Rising was a marketer of its own brand, unlike major record companies that focus more on branding individual artists. 88 Rising arguably focused more on branding its company. That is the controversial issue about how the company restricts creative control heavily to maximize profit rather than allow artists a decent amount of leeway to create art or be themselves. And despite the high number of subscribers on YouTube, most of them have less than 200,000 views. And there are only music content on YouTube, limiting ways where audience can connect with their favorite artists. With this existing model, we realize the importance of current branding, and the questions comes to whether 88 Rising should be rebranding or not. We hence compare the option of staying the same or change. With the old model of focusing on the brand, not the artist, the company will lose its artists and fan base in the near future. In contrast, shifting the brand perception to be the people who build the brand will not only help the company retain its artists, but their fan base as well. As a result, we suggest the company to have a new brand concept, People Build the Brand. And to achieve this, we need the pre-implementation processes, product, partnership, and promotion. With the issue of freedom of artistic expression and how the company heavily advertised its brand, not the artist, 88 Rising lost its main artist, Georgie, to Warner Music. And this can put the question to 88 of to what extent the scope of art should be limited to. The company should believe in the perceptions of how people build a brand, allow artists to have complete freedom over their artistry. They can take years and years to make an album, and conversely, they can choose to drop a new track every month. They have complete control of their music. As the record label, 88 Rising instead should provide advice and often discuss with them what they would like to try next with regard to their music. And this is a successful model implemented by Above Ordinary Music Group, or AOMG, a successful South Korean hip-hop and R&B record label. With a long-term contract with artists alongside the family-like culture, currently AOMG houses around 18 artists. More importantly, it is stated by the Director of International Business of AOMG that the creative freedom of the artist is the key as the art will speak for itself. And this emphasizes on how 88 Rising should give more spotlight to their artists, allowing them to express themselves. Moving on to the second step. Despite the vision of Miyashiro to position 88 Rising to become a broader content hub, 88 Rising lack of know-how in entertainment. Hence, we would like to recommend the company to partner with BuzzFeed, which is an American-based digital media company which provides news and entertainment content. In 2022, BuzzFeed attracted over 103 million monthly 18 to 34 American visitors from direct, referrals, social, organic, and mail traffic, emphasizing on great opportunities for 88 Rising to enlarge its niche target audience. But why would BuzzFeed partner with 88 Rising? Partnering with 88 Rising will allow BuzzFeed to tap into this cultural relevance among the Asian and Asian American community and expand its coverage of music-related content, opening up opportunities for collaborative and innovative content creation. And to help see the better picture, let's see how the two brands can collaborate. BuzzFeed and 88 Rising can collaborate on videos, articles, and social media campaigns. They can feature 88 Rising artists in BuzzFeed popular series, create viral challenges or quizzes, and produce culturally relevant content. BuzzFeed can promote 88 Rising music release, event, and artist profile through its digital platforms. The brand can co-host live events that bring together their audience, and both can collaborate on social media initiatives to engage their audience. And this can involve cross promotion, influencer collaboration, and interactive challenges or hashtags. To be more specific, 88 Rising can have BuzzFeed generate YouTube content under the title Rising Star, The 88 Rising Journey within 88 Rising channel. Each episode of The Rising Star will take viewers into the lives of different 88 Rising artists, giving viewers a glimpse into the day-to-day activities, studio session, performance, and interaction with fans. Let's capture that dedication, perseverance, and the collaborative spirit that drives the 88 Rising community. BuzzFeed can, in return, have reaction content and quizzes about 88 Rising artists, plus the logo signify partnership. This will allow 88 Rising to give importance to their artists following the concept of people build a brand. And after 88 Rising rise above and gain better perception through its enlarging niche market, it's time to see how the company can go beyond its structure for sustainable growth of the company. Yanisa.
Thank you, Narinya. Now to answer the question, how should 88 Rising strike balance between control and scale up its operation? Let me introduce to you Go Beyond. Let's start with 88 Rising's approach to work with the artists, which has been predominantly project-based, allowing for collaborations on single releases while limiting the long-term commitment. However, this model has its drawbacks, as seen in the case of Joji, where the relationship between artists and 88 Rising has been strained. By relying solely on the project-based contract, 88 Rising may view artists as cost rather than valuable asset. This limited support and limited commitment and accountability that can hinder labels' ability to fully support and nurture artists, along with their growth and competitiveness in the industry, as observed in Joji's experience. To address this issue, adopting full contract approach with proper care and commitment to the artist can help elevate this pain point. Treating artists as valuable asset and providing comprehensive support will ensure their growth and fostering stronger and more fruitful artist-label relationship. Now, transitioning from the project-based approach to full contract model can be done through 3 key actions. 88 Rising can strengthen their bond with the artists, safeguarding their future. And first action is to involve seeking and discovering new talents in various regions. For example, Young Om, the Thai rapper who have captured 88 Rising attention alongside with Millie. He is driven by the shared passion for hip-hop and the expressive approach that resonates with the label's ethos of embracing Asian cool and freedom. The next step is to engage in collaborative projects that enable further exploration of their music style. Following the successful collaboration on a single This Is Thailand featuring Millie, 88 Rising gains deeper understanding of Young Om's artistry and capabilities as a rapper. This serves as a moment where 88 Rising can consider offering Young Om a full contract, granting him an opportunity to record, produce, market his music under label's banner and proper care of 88 Rising. After new artists acquire, they need to scale up their business. The current hybrid working model, overseen by CEO, hinders their progress. Complex roles, limited the creativity, dilute accountability, and also risk compromising artist care and quality. This has 2 consequences. Firstly, it confines 88 Rising to a CEO-centric structure, limiting their ability to safeguard artists' well-being. And secondly, it obstructs their commitment to competing and expanding strategically. Thus, comprehensive organizational restructuring is unavoidable. Now, what's new about organizational structure? In this new organizational structure, the management team led by CEOs who oversee general management, working alongside them in a central project team who actively seek out the artists and initiate collaborative projects with the diverse talents. Supporting these efforts, the regional team will be established to provide care for artists and work on the local project. Each regional teams will comprise of individuals who possess the relevant expertise and qualification specific to their respective locations. For instance, artist management department will include employees who truly understand local artists, their career, their aspiration, the development goals. This deep understanding will enable them to set meaningful milestones and create a roadmap for artists' career growth. By adopting this approach, the label will enhance ability to discover exceptional talents, foster stronger local networks, and forge international connections, and deliver culturally authentic music experiences. So there are 3 key steps of transformation. It starts by carefully assessing the skill and abilities of the employee, placing them in a team where they can thrive. We will also bring new talents to complement our existing workforce. And then in addition, we will allocate our resource to 3 key teams: artist development, marketing, and production. This ensures that we will have the right people and the right tools in the place to nurture our artists, promote their work effectively, and also produce the high quality content. Furthermore, we will craft comprehensive long-term strategic plan, and this will enable us to stay competitive in the market where the new rivals are emerging. Alongside this, we will focus on guiding our artist journey by setting a clear goals and milestones for their growth and success. Implementing these strategies will not only enhance our artist retention rate, but also elevate the entire 88 Rising experience. Now, let's move on to the cost and impact. Eileen, could you walk us through the finance?
Absolutely. So thank you, Yanisa. And now let's see how these strategies can make an impact. Starting with the cost breakdown, new implementations are always associated with the cost. With our initial approach, Rise Above, a significant portion of expense will be allocated to the partnership course where we partner with the BuzzFeed. And next, for Go Beyond, our primary expenditures will be in restructuring costs. For the cost that we mentioned earlier, will be the one-time cost, whereas as an OPEX will be the cost that involved annually. The cumulative cost for these strategies is $2.45 million, where our source of fund will be 50% internal, 25% of short-term and long-term debt. We forecast that we will be able to achieve a revenue growth of 16.6% over the next 5 years by these following key assumptions. Our projections is predicted on a successfully hire one potential artist from the regional team annually. Secondly, we believe that we will be able to increase the substantial revenue growth of 25% due to the increase of more presence internationally, and we'll be able to differentiate from other record labels. And then moving on to the implementations. When should our strategies be implemented? For the Rise Above, we will start developing the rebrand in the first 6 months of 2024 and start forming with a potential partner within the same year, combining with the preparations of the marketing plan and launch them onwards. For Go Beyond strategies, we will first start the organizational restructuring for the regional team in the 9 months of 2024. Also, we will finding the potential artists for Beyond strategies and develop the artist long-term plan within the same year. Every step after implementations will be evaluated and improvised onwards. In addition, new strategies for business also associated with the risks. One significant risk that we need to consider is that BuzzFeed might not decide to partner with 88 Rising. However, our mitigation plan is finding other potential media companies to be partnered with. And for the second risk that we need to be considered is that there might be, for the 88 Rising, might be rely too much on media. To mitigate it, we will plan the artists and schedule on the productions to ensure that they are not only doing them on the media marketing. And last risk is that there might be the high cost of restructuring. Our mitigation plan is we will reallocate resources within the company to ensure that there might be the low cost for that restructuring. Last but not least, how should we evaluate the strategies? We also do have KPI to assess on both strategies. First, the strategic partnership under Rise Above. Our KPI is that we expect that we will be able to increase the freedom and creativity to the artists. This could make an impact to 88 Risings by they will leverage and be able to repositioning themselves to be an artist-oriented company. Second, the long-term strategic plan through Go Beyond. Our KPI are focused on increasing the number of the long-term artists and developing the long-term partnership plan with them. This will fostering the long-term relationship and nurturing them as a valuable asset rather than cost. Lastly, with our strategies, Rise Above and Go Beyond, 88 Rising will be able to reach a sustainable growth while also maintaining the strong brand image through its people.
And we would like to end this with a quote from Mr. William Heineke, who inspired us during HSBC Thailand round, and we have used this quote to inspire it on this case. It is not the brand that builds people, and it is people that builds the brand. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. Now let's move to the Q&A session. The 15-minute countdown show starts soon, and let's hear the first question from our judges.
All right, I'll start first if you don't mind. Thank you for your presentation. Very researched ones, nice comparison. And I just want to ask about more the cost side, because you mentioned about the reorganization of structures, building the marketing, artist department, etc., etc. What is the resources implication on these building the support to those artists? Because currently they're being outsourced. And you mentioned about reallocating the resources as mitigations. Given the number of employees in currently 88 Rising, what are the room to allocate do you think will be on there? So I want to hear more about how we can manage the cost side of the Rise Above and Go Beyond suggestions. Thank you.
Yes, for the first above strategies, there will be partnership costs with BuzzFeed. So there will be including like the partnership agreement or the license that there will be logos within the 88 Rising group. And also we're including the rebrand costs, which are the brand development. What could be the strategies to attract them with our brand to be focusing on the artist oriented. And for the OPEX will be costs that we cost annually will include the marketing costs with why we partnership with and BuzzFeed and the revenue sharing with BuzzFeed too. And for go beyond strategies, there will be restructuring costs. This will include costs for BB hiring the new direct of the region teams. And for the OPEX, this percentage will be on the salary of the new director that will be hiring and will be the artist of the development plan for the artist. And also including the event costs that we want to do like the fan engagement for them to increase their, for example, increase their in creativity and will be like engaging with the customer and fans.
And to add more on that, the marketing team that would be within the regional team, marketing team will potentially be outsourced because in the particular region, it might have another characteristic that would require the specialty to actually understand how to advertise to people. So that marketing can be outsourced. And at the same time, people that are currently working in 88 Rising right now has different expertise and specialty. So moving them around in the roles that they can function efficiently, that would actually help them in working in the efficiency of overall work.
Yeah. Hello. Okay. Yeah. You talk about one of the slides is talk about the KPI. How often do you review the KPI? In case when you review the KPI, when it is dropped below the KPI, what are you going to do?
So we will assess thank you for the questions. We will assess the KPI quarterly to ensure that our strategy are also aligned with the KPI that we set. So we want to make sure that our strategies could make work best for each of the parties, each for the customers. For example, the first strategy is Rise Above. We want to make sure that after we launch our rebrand concepts, we would know that there will be more engagement from the customers. And for example, if we be the go beyond strategies, we will assess them through our retentions to know that our new restructuring of the organization would work best or not.
And please allow me to add on, Eileen. As for the first strategy, Rise Above, since we are going to put the more spotlight to our artists, if we have the evaluation plan accordingly and continuously, in the case that we didn't meet the KPI, it means we cannot meet the demand of the artist. In that case, we will go and individually ask our artists what they would like to do, what they want in order to adapt accordingly and make them feel best in our organization.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I think the upstream part of this strategy is pretty clear, right? Like with the artist focus and then presumably, results in an increase in output. I think I'm a little less clear on the downstream aspects of this as like how that content grows listeners and revenue. So could you say more about that?
Sorry.
Could you help repeat the questions again?
Yeah, sure. Sorry, what I mean is you have a good focus here on attracting artists, retaining artists, but could you say more about how that feeds through beyond the BuzzFeed collaboration into sales, basically?
So after the BuzzFeed collaboration, what we focus on is the awareness and the artist himself is the artist as a brand. So we are marketing the artist along with the 88 rising at the same time. So after that, in the downstream, we have realized after analyzing the case that they have already done pretty well downstream management in terms of launching music and at the same time trying to manage their contents and also selling their merchandise. We have realized that their merchandise are very millennials, Gen Z oriented. So their merchandise is are more art on the side of artistic, and at the same time they have a very unique songs and unique like products. So with this, we have realized that the downstream management, which would result from the upstream management, would be strengthened by actually managing the upstream to be better. And then the downstream management, which they already could do well, would be a result of the upstream management.
Please allow me to add on this. So since 88 Rising is the first mover for the Asian crew on the rap and R&Ds, so we believe that after we strengthen on both upstream and downstream perfectly, we will be able to compete with other competitors that they want to enter into this market too.
And please allow me to add on that a little bit. Our model is actually based on the case study of AOMG, which is a successful hip hop brand in Korean right now. And it's kind of like have the similar model of being hip hop R&B record label, and they are very successful. And if we go into their YouTube channel, they have numerous content in the lifestyle of the artist and how they portray and also compose their music, and that really help engage the fan base and enlarging the target audience of the company itself also.
Thank you. Just because you mentioned AOMG, I'm kind of interested in this, that there's you have on this slide, no time limit to make an album, which I kind of I get, like from completely understandable in terms of artistic freedom and so on. But of course, if all of your artists take 10 years to make an album, then you have no content to monetize. How do AOMG, like what lessons can 88 Rising learn from AOMG about managing that risk?
Yes, as we mentioned in our risk and mitigation plan, we'll have certain plan and schedule for the artists. So it might be how even they take more time to do album, during that time that they take time to do album, we can have media content, media marketing that can help engage with audience at the same time. So we would like not to limit their freedom in the sense of how long they would like to compose the music, but the important thing is to keep engaged with their audience all the time. And this is the purpose of increasing awareness of 88 Rising throughout the whole time of like the 10 years, 8 years span.
And please allow me to add on. So in our second strategy, Go Beyond, we actually have the artist development team that would actually keep track of artist aspiration, milestones, goals, and also schedule. So with that in mind, we can actually put a time frame that artists will be comfortable in working on their music with full creativity, but at the same time doesn't harm the process of actually releasing the music. Yes.
And please allow me to add on, when we're giving more freedom to artists to create and portray the music, this also provide them more creativity and also to give this creativity to the listener or current customer as well.
Following up on the question by Gary just now, because I see that in the financial projection, the key assumption is that there will be like one new artist every year from the regional team. So I was wondering if we give them full freedom, I mean, the risk will be amplified if we just aim to have one new artist every year, because yeah, you may spend months of time to acquire a new artist, but the monetization will only come in a year or even after, and with no guaranteed success rate. So just want to hear your thoughts about it.
Yes, for the hiring of the new artists, we will have then access to ensure that the new artists that we will hiring will be able to launch the music that they are doing within our time periods, to ensure that it will not be cost too much for the 88 Risings So we will ensure that our new launching of the new song from the new artist will be offsetting with the cost that we will hire with them in every year.
And allow me to add on. So in the Go Beyond strategy, we have already established the steps to actually acquiring the artists to make sure that 88 Rising is getting the best of the best, right? So please go back to the slides, the hiring slides. Okay, so this one. So after we seek a new artist, they will entering the collaborative project. It's a temporary contract, as 88 Rising always do. So with the entering the project, they can discover the exploration of the music style and also can see how this artist can work. Is actually at the same time like a job interview for a sense, and see how customer can engage with this new project, new collaborative project. As our example is, this is Thailand by 88 Rising and Young Om and Millie. So they can see how people react, how audience react to that. And then they can considering from that then on to enter the full contract with them. So from this time frame, they actually could acquire artists when there is a full contract initiated. And then it's the one artist per the regional team. So there might be many regional team as they consider to expand to, and thus maybe might be more than one artist. But at the same time, we limit to one artist per regional team to put a focus on them.
And please allow me to add on the revenue stream a little bit. As for Priory, the revenue might focus heavily on the song and like the main music that produced through you and announced through YouTube. However, with our new initiatives like collaborating with BuzzFeed, we'll gain more revenue through the social media content, the media content, the lifestyle contents as well.
So BuzzFeed, I think, in the way you've presented, feels like a good partner, but they have their own challenges. They've been reducing headcount and announcing a pivot to AI just in the last 2 weeks. What other potential partners have you evaluated for the strategy?
Okay. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yes, another potential partner that we have looked through is VFCPS, which is also a big company in the market of like this media content.
Please allow me to add on. So our potential media company that Narinya mentioned earlier will have the same sets of criteria within our BuzzFeed. So we believe that this will be our potential partnership that we could partner with. Thank you.
We still have 1 minute left. Maybe the last question from our judges.
I'll ask a very interesting one. You mentioned about the key man risk on strong Mia Hero. How are you going to resolve this key man risk? I mean, if you have a scout team, how do you ensure the quality of those artists being aligned to the company vision?
So in the team, we will have the artist development team and also production team. But at the same time, these will be evaluated like annually to see how the artists actually fit and the quality. And at the same time, we will consider both sides or both engagement and at the same time the artist quality the work quality that would actually reflect on the engagement of the audiences. So this is how we can ensure the artist quality, and at the same time, like with the regional team, that is a main responsibility to actually deliver the quality, like quality songs and products.
Thank you all for your questions and answers. The Q&A session is finished.